Hello everyone. This session is all about Google Cloud Free Program. We will start with an overview and then take a closer look at free trial and free tier to figure out the differences between these two. Google Cloud offers access to certain services and resources within the cloud free of charge. This is known as the Google Cloud Free Program, but technically the program is actually made of three separate elements. We've got what is known as the free trial, there is a free tier, and there is also what is known as Google Maps platform. And I want to quickly tell you the differences between these, especially the first two, free trial and free tier, because this is where some people still have problems distinguishing between these two. They mix them up and think it's the same thing, which in reality it is not. At a very high level, I can tell you that free trial is all about getting access to Google Cloud, getting access to a free account on Google Cloud so you could test certain functionality of the cloud. Then free tier is a bunch of resources, limited, that applies to your active account on a periodic basis, typically every single month. And then Google Maps platform, which we will not really talk about, is all about getting access to the Google Maps API at a free level. Okay, so let's take a look at a free trial and free tier one by one and talk about the differences between these two portions of the Google Cloud free program. Free trial, as I said, is all about getting access to Google Cloud so you could explore certain cloud features, test their services, play with the different resources. You could deploy in the cloud, see how it works, and maybe try to communicate the cloud with your on-premise network to see how everything is connected, how everything communicates. And of course, also something that I would recommend you to guys have in order to play a little bit with our workbooks, like when you are a Cybrix customer and you want to get some hands-on experience with Google Cloud, especially the security-related features. This option, the free trial, is going to be a perfect fit since you technically don't need to spend any money to work on our practice labs. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the restrictions related to the free trial because there are some. The first thing you should need to remember about this feature is that this account is only designated for new customers. Okay, it means that if you already went for the free trial and you have an account with Google, you will not be able to use it once again, kind of like restart it, unless you can configure, create a different Google account, like use a different Gmail address, and possibly attach a different credit card. Another restriction is that this account will be given to you for a limited time, and the time is going to be either based on the full 90 days limit, which is how long the account is going to be active, assuming that you didn't spend all of the credit that was assigned to this account, or it's based on the credit. It's this $300 US credit which you get for this account, so you could play with the different features and services available in the cloud. Okay, so once again, the account is going to end when you either spent the full credit, which is $300, or if you didn't spend all of the money they allocated to this account, the account is going to be suspended. It is going to end after 90 days since it was created, which is basically since you signed up to the program. One of the things that you will need to provide when you create this account, in addition to specifying your name, your address, it is going to be credit card information. The main reason, probably the main reason why Google wants this credit card is they want you to be able to quickly upgrade to a paid plan when the free trial is over. Remember that free trial still gives you the ability to create some resources. For instance, use their storage, maybe upload some files, and those files, those resources will be available until the free account, the free trial is active. But when you lose access to the free account, now technically you've got 30 days to do the upgrade, but after the trial account expires, you're expected to upgrade to a paid account, to a paid plan, which is why they need your credit card, so you could keep the resources, and of course you could keep using the cloud, different cloud services. Another limit is that when you are using the trial account, you cannot really run Windows Server virtual machines, and you cannot attach graphics processing units, GPUs, to your VMs. This is something that is available when you upgrade to a paid plan, but it's not part of the free trial account. There is also no way to access generative AI partner models. Now, what about free tier? You guys don't forget to subscribe if you like our content. Thanks! Free tier is what people commonly confuse with free trial, which we know is something else. Now, free tier is basically the ability to get limited access to some of the resources within the cloud for free, as long as you are using an active Google Cloud account. And this is enabled by default. You don't have to do anything to participate in the free tier. Basically, Google is going to give you access to some resources, not all of them, up to some extent on a periodic basis, free of charge. And the limit is going to be renewed when a new period starts. So every time new period starts, you come up with a new limit for those different services that are part of the free tier program. The account must be active, which means that when your free trial account is over, you will not be able to use certain resources for free. You need to upgrade to the paid plan and then possibly stick to the free tier when playing with Google Cloud services. But again, it's not all resources, and it's just a bunch of gigs for storage, certain time for VMs that is gonna count against the free tier here. This feature is not something that is gonna add, like you don't have any time limit for free tier. As I mentioned, the limits or just credits will be kind of like refilled every new period starts. But notice that those credits, those free resources, they don't accumulate or roll over to the next interval, which means that if you don't use, let's say, all of your cloud storage for a given month, you will not get that storage in the next month, so you could come up with more space total. It's not something that accumulates. It's available within a period. If you don't use it, it's lost. Now let's take a look at the limits for this feature of Google Cloud. So this is something you can take a look at under free tier usage limits. Notice that there is actually a lot of services that are part of this program. We've got App Engine and BigQuery. This is going to be probably useful for developers. There is some machine learning stuff. We've got Cloud Shell access with 5 gigs of persistent storage. And probably what is going to be important for us, it is going to be the cloud storage service. You get 5 gigs of regional storage per month. As long as this is US regions only, specifically US East 1, use West One and use Central One. And then for Compute Engine, you get access to the E2 Micro VM instance. It doesn't have to be a single VM which you can use. The thing is that this particular part of the tier is limited by time, not by a number of instances. So each month they say eligible use of all of your E2 Micro instances is free until you've used a number of hours equal to the total hours in the current month. In addition to that, you also get 30 gigs of standard persistent storage. And notice that an external IP address is free of charge as well. So great thing to test communication within the cloud. You've got some storage, you've got the compute engine, the free VM, and this is something again that is gonna be available to you. I mean, the limits for each of these, they will be renewed in most cases every single month. Right, so let's now go ahead and see how to create a new Google Cloud account so we can participate in the free trial and test the different functions of Google Cloud. But first and foremost, I would go ahead and sign in using one of the Google's account. If you don't already have one, just go ahead and click on sign in, click on use another account, then create account, personal use versus business. Maybe let's go back and say this is for personal. A personal, just give it a name, and then provide some personal information. And at some point, they will ask you to sign in using either a Gmail address or another domain email account. So it doesn't have to be Gmail. You could use a different account with a different domain. It's just an email that you need to specify so you could proceed with the registration. Now I'm gonna use my Google account because I already have one. So I'm gonna first and foremost sign in to my Google account, and then I will just type Google Cloud Console in the browser. It's cloud.google.com, how you can get to this website, and you have an option to get started for free. So this is the free trial. Now at that point you will need to specify your address and credit card information. So this is something that I will not be showing you. But remember that when you eventually finish the registration process, this is exactly when the free trial account becomes active, which means that your 90-day counter starts. Of course, if you spend your $300 credit before 90 days since the account creation, it also means that it is going to end your account. And just remember that when your account ends, you will at some point lose access to all of the resources within the cloud. So if you want to keep them, if you want to keep using them, just go ahead and upgrade to the paid plan.